memorable Halloween costumes as a kid was a homemade skunk costume that my mom made me.
Homemade skunk costume. Oh, that is awesome. I had a homemade chipmunk squirrel costume that was for a play, but I ended up wearing it for Halloween one year, so that's kind of cool. Had a big tail at the back. Good morning, everybody. That'll be my share. I'm Marnie Dangerfield. I'm a wellness and intentional creativity and garden coach, also here in Victoria, BC. Welcome to our show.
And that transition was seamless, Marnie. I have to praise you. That was amazing.
We're really close. The one thing I didn't get the record quite in time, but so we missed the first little bit, but we'll get most of it.
That's still.
We're getting close. We're really getting close to nailing this. Oh my goodness. Rose Houston shares that she still has that skunk costume. Melissa.
Oh, maybe my niece will wear it one day.
Need a picture.
Yeah, maybe a special Halloween thing will be to post pictures on the Instagram account.
That's right. Yes. Whatever you're comfortable with, whether it's just the costume or you as a child in the costume, or we'll see.
Oh yeah, no, I'll find a picture of me in it.
Awesome. Even better.
You have a picture of you in your squirrel outfit?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to see.
If not, we can use our imagination. Yes. And hello to everyone.
Yes, so good to have you here. And please, as you were called, please share in the comments. We love having comments or through the show, or if you're watching it on the replay, we always appreciate that. And so just to give an overview, we'll start with our value statement, then we'll each share what's inspiring us. I think this week I go first, and then Melissa will go with what the inspiration is. Then what do we do after that, Melissa? Oh yeah, I share my wellness tip. And then you'll share our contact information. Then we always like to round out with some gratitude, what we're grateful for this week. And then Melissa is going to be sharing another one of her fabulous motivational quotes to round us out. So.
Perfect. All right, our value statement. Today we gather
in the spirit of possibility,
in support of community,
to encourage holistic well-being,
to empower our authentic selves.
I love that. To share appreciation,
to express compassion,
and to enjoy this gift of life.
Yay! Yes, please share. Anyone joining us live, we'd love to hear what's motivating or inspiring you today. It's a lovely autumn day. Hopefully it's lovely wherever you are.
Yes.
You open my blinds yet? You can see I see my blinds closed. Yes. Well, what have you got for us today, Marnie?
Well, it's been a bit since I've shared a podcast, and I know it's a podcast we've shared before, but I was listening to it. I had something else, and I was listening to it this morning, so it bumped everything. So I was listening to Brene Brown's podcast, Unlock Us, one of that too. I'll share the link in the comments. Unlocking Us. And it was at last week's episode where she interviews with Emily and Amelia Nagoski. They're twin sisters, and they've written a book called Burnout, The Secret to Unlocking the Stress Cycle. And as someone who has a great interest in stress and managing stress and dealing with it in a healthy way, it was just a really fascinating conversation, and I learned lots of things. And this will eventually be a wellness tip once I've processed it more. But it was just really fascinating about how much of the feelings and the emotions and what happens in our body and how we can get stuck. And so it's not always the stress itself that's the bad thing. It's are we processing it and getting it processed through. So with the burnout, they mentioned that exhaustion happens when we get stuck in an emotion. So the emotion is stuck in us and we haven't just allowed it to flow. So I will definitely be providing more info on another one. But in the meantime, if you're interested, it's a really interesting conversation with all sorts of great tips. And I will share the link afterwards. So Yeah. So
I wholeheartedly agree because I've listened to that episode.
I wondered.
So I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, about I like the point that stress. They say stress isn't bad. It's because that's part of the cycle of life. You got to have the stress, but then you got to have the calm. How do they phrase it? I don't know, but it's it's like the stress cycle. So you got to get through the stress and have that sort of relief phase. I can't remember the terminology, but it's getting stuck in, or sorry, the stressors. There's stressors that you can't help, but it's getting stuck in the stress.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So it's so good. So I will process it more and come up with more a wellness tip section soon. But I just, for those who are really interested in that, and I think it'd be helpful for all of us, anyone who deals with stress, which I think is all of us. So yeah. Oh, and good morning, Carrie. Yay, you're here. That's awesome. Welcome. Feel free to share in the comments if you're watching us, what's inspiring you. We'd love to hear it. And so Melissa, what's inspiring you this week?
Oh, I will tell you in just a sec. I just want to also add that Brene Brown has now released another new podcast, which I haven't listened to yet because I think it just came out, Dare to Lead, which is on Spotify. Just wanted to note that for all the Brene Brown fans out there in case they weren't aware.
Yay.
Yay, Brene Brown. I wanted to share a book series that came to my attention this week. Actually, I had heard of it before, but I looked into it more this week. And it's just so cute and inspiring. So it's a kids book series. So all you parents out there, this is really for you or anyone who has kids in their lives, because I think I'll be getting some of these for my niece. It's called the Ordinary People Change the World series by Brad Meltzer, and I will share a link. So there's a whole, I don't know how many, but it looks like there's well over 10 out now. And they do sort of cover famous people, but people who have changed the world in some positive way. So they have like Rosa Parks and Neil Armstrong and Gandhi, a whole bunch of people. Leonardo da Vinci, like people you wouldn't necessarily think little kids would be learning about yet. And I understand that they show these people as kids. I haven't actually read any of the books yet, but it sounds like they show them, at least in some of the books, as kids themselves so that kids can relate to them as an ordinary person before they go on to do these wonderful things. And I wanted to read you the mission, and I thought you would really like it, Marnie. Their mission. So it says, this isn't just a book series. It's a dream for our daughters, our dream for our sons, our dream for all of us who need to see the world of need to see the power of an ordinary person and the power and potential in each of us. Together, we're building an army of smart children, arming them with lessons of compassion, kindness, and justice. Come join us for the ride. Oh, and the other thing, Marnie. So they have this main book series, and I think they said their target audience is between ages of 6 and 12, but they have baby board books too. And so the baby board books are obviously simpler, but one of them is just I Am Kind. One's called I Am Kind. One it's called I Am Brave. Can't remember the other ones off the top of my head, but they're simplistic, but the message is so wonderful and positive. So I was just so tickled pink when I heard about this book series, and the illustrations are super cute too. So I will share a link, and I want to share these books with all the kids in the world.
No kidding. I mean, goodness, start young. I mean, that's perfect. And
Yeah.
Get all jazzed. You said some of my favorite words, of course, with the kindness and compassion. And Ray was just like, yes. And that was anything on the, oh, that, thank you for that share. I can't wait to see the link because that's, ugh. It was like listening to Brene Brown's this morning too. They talked about feeling the emotion and noticing it with kindness and compassion. And that was one of the things to do. And I was like, yes, like the more kindness and compassion. And so these books, oh, what a great messages and the images. Thank you, Melissa.
Yeah. Oh, and you have a wellness tip to share with us today.
I do. I actually borrowed this. I'm just going to be honest, but I thought it was an interesting, it's from a doctor I don't know. She seems quite popular on Facebook. There's a lot of people who likes her, and a close friend shared something from her, and it's Tiarona Low Dog. She's a doctor. It's, I hope I said her name right. But she shared a post about rest, and she's a, like I mentioned, she's a doctor, but and in it she wrote, "I've always found it fascinating how much our health discussions are centered around sleep and energy, and how rarely we examine the rest, relaxation, and recovery we give ourselves in these fast-paced times. Rest is so much more than a good night of sleep. It is the downtime we give our bodies, our minds, and our spirits to come back to center." And I agree. So I thought, well, that's so well said. And she lists 9 types of rest. So I thought we'd put them down. And then if you're wanting to add any, or I won't, but so the 9 types of rest she lists in her post. 1 is time away. 2 is permission to not be helpful. See how that lands? I know I had a bit of 3, something unproductive, which reminded me of, my challenge. I'm going to bring it up again. That 5 minutes a day just for you. It doesn't have to be productive, something that lights you up. Hey, I just want to shout out, try it. Make it an intention. Time for you. Anyway, back to the list. So something unproductive. 4, connecting to art and nature. And I know for me, even though there's lots to do in the garden, sometimes if I'm just at rest, walking my garden at peace, it's one of the most relaxing, grounding experiences to just be in nature and taking in the beauty. So I totally relate to that one. Solitude to recharge, so a break from responsibility, stillness to decompress, a safe space, and alone time at home. So, and I really resonate. I know with all people, but I think even more so women, we're such givers and doers and helpers, that allowing that time to rest and recharge, to prioritize it, maybe a bit of a stretch, but creating that time in your day, each day, so you are able to check in with yourself and how you're feeling, what you're thinking, what's going on. It's just so important for your overall well-being, and as such, your family and your community's well-being too. So I just wanted to put those out there for remembering in all the busyness to have some time for you to rest and reconnect, in whatever ways speak to you. So I don't know if there's ways that you like to rest and reconnect, Melissa, or if any of those stuck out to you.
I might not be a good rester. I'm going to have to ponder that. But yeah, certainly the solitude part. I know if I it hasn't really happened so much recently because we are generally a little more secluded. But, oh, look, a kitty. I know that in the past, if I've been doing a lot of interactions with people throughout my day, it could be internally tiring. And yeah, I definitely need alone time to recharge in those situations.
Yeah. Sometimes that self-expression time in art, or just turning up a tune and singing it, can be uplifting.
I do sing a lot, but that's usually while doing other things at the same time. So I wouldn't really call it relaxing and resting.
Neat. Well, it'll be interesting to see how you can play with it. If you want, you may not want to. You don't have to. It's your choice. But seeing about adding a bit of relaxation, that reconnection time. And thank you, Carrie. That is awesome. She's saying she loves this, but she just listened to Daniel Laporte podcast, and she focused on rest is love.
Ooh, I might have to look at that.
Yes, we'll have to look at that podcast. Thank you, Carrie. It's wonderful.
Awesome. Okay. Is it time to share our contact info?
Oh, yes, I guess it is.
It's going to come up in a moment. Here we go. There it is. Hey, look, I got us a bit.ly.
You finally did?
I kept saying I was going to, and I finally did.
Wow, way to go.
So if you're joining us for the first time, our YouTube channel at the very bottom there now has a bit.ly, which it has no wow in it. I'm sorry, but it's 2 capital T 0 PR capital T capital Y, which should be a little easier to write down. And that's mostly for anyone who's big YouTube fans, who like to watch us on the replay, or just want to be able to go back into some of our older episodes without having to scroll through a lot of Facebook. And actually, we haven't been doing it on Facebook that long. So if you are curious to watch any of our older stuff, that's the place that you should go and check it out. But if you have feedback, ideas, anything you want to communicate or share with us, feel free to email us at motivation.mornings@gmail.com. You are likely on our Facebook page, MM with MM. That's where we're live this morning. And again, you can always watch the replay on there. We also share our any resources that we discuss in the comments on there. So if you are not watching us on there, if you are just on YouTube, feel free to pop on there and give our page a like so you can see all those goodies. And then we have our Instagram, motivation_mornings_with_mm. And I know I didn't post last week's quote, but I will. I have not forgotten. And that's where we post the quotes and reminders and the occasional other fun thing. So like I said, maybe we'll post something like Halloween pictures closer to Halloween.
Closer to Halloween.
Other fun things like that. And yeah, we're thinking ideas. And if you have ideas, email us or comment. We'd love to hear what you would like to see on the page.
Oh, that's awesome. And it cracks me up because, yes, we lost the wow on the YouTube link, but it cracks me. It's to party is kind of how that reads.
Oh, nice.
like in wellness and well-being, in uplifting ways. So I love our new bit.ly. Thank you. All right. So I guess we'll share our gratitudes and then finish up with your quote, your motivational quote. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
And anybody here live, or if you're watching the replay, please feel free to share what you're grateful for in this moment or recently. We'd love to hear it too. It lifts everybody up. So Melissa, what are you grateful for today?
Well, I'm always a little bit biased because I always do this right after I run outside. So top of mind is always my morning experience. And similarly to last week, I think I mentioned the beautiful moon that was out. But this morning, I was so grateful. It was such a beautiful, clear sky, and all the stars were out. And I was thinking to myself, as much as I love a beautiful sunny morning that we get in the summertime, it